everybody, and welcome back to Nap Time with Erin, a weekly show in which I sit on my bed in my pajamas, wrap myself up in a blanket, often cuddle with some sort of stuffed animal. Today we're going to be hanging out with Minnie Mouse, and I talk to you about whatever's on my mind. Today is the 5th of October, meaning it's the perfect time to film a September favorites video. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Also, forgive my voice, I'm getting over a cold, so it might sound even more nasally than usual. So the first category is beauty, and honestly, I should change the name of this category because I'm not a makeup girl, and I rarely have anything to put in the beauty product category. But I often do little lifestyle things in this portion of the video, so maybe I should just call it the candle portion, because today I'm talking about a candle. If you recall, I recently did a Bath & Body Works haul, mostly candles and hand sanitizers, all fall related, and I waited until the first day of fall to start lighting any of these candles, and this one has definitely been my favorite one. It's actually the only one of those three that I've lit, because the other two I feel are meant for more deep fall and beginning of Christmas, so I've been holding off on those, but luckily I have some other somewhat fall-scented, spiced candles. But this one I've been burning quite a bit, and even when I don't burn it, I just leave it open because it fills my room with a smell even when it's not burning. It smells exactly like pumpkin pie. Like one night I came into my room after it had been burning that day, and I said out loud to nobody, "It smells like a pumpkin pie exploded in here." Like that was the only way I could describe it. So this has definitely been my favorite candle recently. Next category is clothing, and this month I am featuring this shirt that says "I love rock and roll cooking" on it. And most of you probably don't get that joke. I think I've made pretty clear on my channel in the past that I'm a Christian, and as far as denomination goes, I am a Mennonite, or at least I come from a Mennonite background. And some of you might not know what a Mennonite is. I won't go too far into it. A lot of people lump us together with the Amish because we're a lot more pacifist and conservative than other denominations of Christian. I don't necessarily play by the Mennonite rules, I just come from a background of Mennonite. The best thing about Mennonites is the food, for sure. There's this organization called the MCC, and I'm not exactly sure what it stands for. I'm sure the M stands for Mennonite, but it's about relief, like third world relief. And every year in September, there's this MCC sale. It's basically a relief sale, so all the Mennonites in the area, it's basically one big Mennonite convention, and there's lots of food, and there's lots of, you know, homemade things. There's stalls full of things you can buy. A lot of it might be used stuff, some of it might be homemade stuff, and the past few years there's been this booth with Mennonite jokes on t-shirts. I already have one from a few years ago that says "Make borscht not bombs" on it, and if you don't know what borscht is, it's like a traditional Mennonite soup. It's delicious. This one, rock and roll kuchen. Roll kuchen is a traditional Mennonite food as well, and it's basically dough that's twisted into like this little twist and then deep fried. And we eat that with golden syrup and farmer sausage and watermelon. It's kind of a traditional summer dish. It's my dad's favorite thing, and we have it every year on his birthday and often on Father's Day as well. And I've gotten a number of compliments on this because, come on, I heart rock and roll kuchen. It's true, and it's great, and I love this shirt. For school/art, I actually have 3 items this month, and that's largely because school started this month, so of course I have things to talk about. First up is this, you can't see that at all, is this wonderful pencil bag that I got from Staples, and it's Me to We, which I love. I love supporting Me to We if I can, and I also have a discount at Staples because that's where I work. And this one says "Welcome the Extraordinary." Also Me to We is this agenda. I wasn't going to get an agenda for school because I already have that beautiful Paris one, but this one I kept seeing in the aisles as I was walking around, and I just love the way it's set up. Like, for one thing, it's got all of the tabs, and it's got tons of room for each day. Like, I love how much room there is for every single day, and I have tons of room to write down all my homework. But again, it's Me to We, and I'm pretty sure it's supplying clean water for someone, so I'm really happy that I can make a small difference. Even if it's just small, any difference is a difference, right? And the third thing, I might have shown you this journal before, but I got it for Christmas back in May or April or whenever it was that we celebrated Christmas again. I got it from my aunt and uncle, so Uncle Pete and Auntie Debbie, if you ever see this, thank you. It's been serving me well because for my creative writing class we have to keep a journal. and I haven't filled too much of it. I've gotten about that far, but for me that's pretty good. And I've been using it a lot because we've had to write a short story for a big percentage of our mark, so I've been figuring out scenes and stuff in here a lot. And would you like to hear a little bit? I'll read you the first, like the opening to the story that I'm going with. The house has been empty for a very long time. I couldn't tell you exactly how long. Us ghosts tend to lose track of certain things fairly soon after death. Things like who we were in life, our age, our name, our gender, fade away like a tree shedding its leaves. Losing our sense of time makes eternity a little more bearable. I've haunted this house for as long as I've been dead. It's been empty since I scared the last inhabitants away. I didn't like them. They yelled at each other a lot. Until one day it isn't empty anymore. And my death is changed forever. Dun dun dun! So the next category is books, and this month I have been reading this book. It is called Duchess, a novel of Sarah Churchill, and it's by Susan Holloway Scott. I actually got this at the MCC sale as well for $4 because it was used, and they had an entire table of used books. It's really good. Let me read the back to you. London, 1673. With her family ruined by war, penniless 13-year-old Sarah Jennings is overjoyed to be chosen as a maid of honor at the body restoration courts of Charles II. She soon wins the trust of Lady Anne of York, a lonely princess who becomes one of her staunchest allies. And though Sarah's beauty stirs the desires of the jaded aristocrats, she wants a grander future for herself than that of a pampered mistress. Only one man possesses ambition and passions that match her own, John Churchill, a dashing young military hero. He would ask for her hand and win her heart for a lifetime. Brimming with intrigue and sensuality of one of history's most decadent courts, Duchess brings to vivid life the story of an unforgettable woman who determined her own destiny, outspoken, outrageous, but most of all true to herself. I'm actually not done this book yet. I have that much more to go, but it's really, really good. Okay, this isn't a book, but it's something that's been hanging out on my bookshelf. It's this little guy. I decided to start trying to low-key collect Pop Funko figures. If you don't know what those are, they're great, and they probably have, if you have a local EB Games store, that's where we have all these locally. So they sell tons of these little guys, and my brother and I go in there all the time because he loves to buy video games, and I like to tag along and maybe go to the bookstore. This last time I suddenly saw, hey look, it's the 10th Doctor, which of course I've probably seen there before, but Avery was like, why don't you collect them? You have the money, you don't buy games, you buy books. If they would look great on your bookshelf, just get one. So I got David Tennant, and I think I'm gonna keep trying to collect them, but not like obsessively. I probably will go back soon though, because I have a bit of spending money, and I think I'm gonna head out for a new art pen today anyway. Okay, movies. This month, I fell in love with Into the Woods. Emily Blunt is amazing and does a great job of playing the baker's wife. James Corden, I didn't think I could ever see him playing someone that wasn't like a funny TV show host, and he did a fantastic job. The kid who plays Gavroche in the 2012 movie of Les Mis is in it. He plays Jack, as in Jack and the Beanstalk. It's so full of big names, honestly. We've got Emily Blunt, James Corden, Meryl Streep for crying out loud. Johnny Depp is in it for like a few minutes, but he's great when he is in it. Oh, there's more people in it. There's flippin' Chris Pine, Anna Kendrick. Like, holy cow, there's so many big names in this movie. And they all do such a good job. For music, let's just get used to the fact that I'm never in the future going to be able to make a favorites video again without mentioning Hamilton. Another song I've been adoring is Closer. I know it's by the Chainsmokers, but the version I've been loving is actually a cover by Walk Off the Earth. And I don't think this counts as music per se, but it doesn't fit anywhere else in my categories that I know of. Welcome to Night Vale. If you don't know, Welcome to Night Vale is a really great podcast, and it's kind of like a radio show. Basically, it takes place in this little desert community in the States somewhere, and pretty much, if you know what I mean by the veil, like the veil between real world and kind of like the supernatural world, the veil is extremely thin in this town. It's narrated by Cecil Palmer, that's the character's name, who is actually voiced by a guy named Cecil Baldwin. And he basically just gives the news going on in the town, like traffic, weather, brought to you by this sponsor, and it's all a little weird and somewhat creepy and even a bit sinister, but everyone in the town has just kind of learned to live with all the weird stuff that happens there. And Cecil Baldwin's voice is the most soothing molasses. Like, step aside, Morgan Freeman, okay? It's amazing. When I was going back to school, I wasn't getting a lot of sleep because I'd been working at Staples so much that when I went to sleep, I would go back to Staples in my dreams, and I wasn't getting enough sleep. So in order to take my mind off of it and be able to sleep, I would put on an episode of Welcome to Night Vale on my phone and just fall asleep to it. But then recently when I got sick, I had too much of a headache to go online and like look at stuff. I couldn't read because my head hurt so much. I knew I needed to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. So I passed the time by listening to a whole bunch of episodes of Night Vale, and the ship started to come true and it became a little bit more canon, and ever since I've just been so in love with Night Vale. So I've been listening to that a lot to fall asleep and to just give me weird but good surrealist dreams. For YouTubers, I've been watching a lot of The Domestic Geek this past month. If you don't know who that is, her name is Sarah Lynn, I think. She's adorable. If you ever watched Once Upon a Time, she looks like Snow White, but blonde instead of black hair. She's got the exact same pixie cut. Same face, to be honest. What's her name? Friggin' Jennifer Goodwin, that's who she looks like, but with blonde hair instead of black hair. And she's adorable. And as for an experience that I loved this month, I already mentioned the MCC sale. That's pretty much what I loved this month. Don't you love my pajamas today? They're the ones that Simone's mom gave me for Christmas last year. Say goodbye, Minnie Mouse. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye!